Hey guys, Monkey's.com here. Right, in this little video, it's going to be a bit different. What I'm going to be doing is basically going through some of the top comments on the top 3 videos on my channel. Now, I've just taken the ones which have had like either the most likes or the most responses and stuff. Yeah, basically the top 3 videos are my car versus cyclist one, the one where the cyclist goes into the side of the car, the GK03ZTM, the angry guy one, and the Arriva bus driver one. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kick off first with the bus driver video. Right then, top one, the first one is North Wales 1000, and he asks, do you have permission of the general manager to put his name in the video? Now, I suspect what he's relating to is the response that I actually gave, which is in the description. Now you see the general manager, the one that actually spoke to me, is like well, I don't know if it was actually him who spoke to me, but apparently he's like the big cheese, basically. Like, he's not the CEO obviously, but he's pretty high up. But anyway, his job title, general manager. It's a very generic term, very sort of like very open, very broad, not very specific, especially in a company as large as Arriva. But no, the question was, am I allowed to? Did he give me permission to put his name anywhere? Well, obviously he didn't. But at the end of the day, it's public domain information. Anyone could just go online and find out the general manager's name, find out his details, get loads of pictures up about him, do all kinds. Obviously, there's certain information you can't get, like his personal address, personal phone numbers, any personal information. A name isn't personal though, because a name isn't. Yes, a name identifies that person, but at the end of the day, it was a response. And if he was happy to give me his information freely without saying, "Oh no, I can't give you my name because of such and such reason," then obviously, sort of like he'd give anyone his name. So saying that like it's data protection and stuff, that I shouldn't be giving out his name, it's not really data protection, because he hasn't asked me to protect his data. If he'd say, "Oh, I am the general manager, no I can't give you my name," fair enough. But at the end of the day, he's representing the company. So I don't know. I don't really know much about data protection or anything, but all I do know is that I didn't do anything wrong by putting his name in the description. It wasn't actually on the video. No one. I don't name people on the video because obviously I don't know names. But anyway, that's that. Next one by Graphic. What do you expect going on the fucking road, idiot? Use the path. There was no one on it. You're not a vehicle, not a car. You never will be. That's a special kind of stupid going in the middle of the road, holding people up too. Now that one's had 61 likes and 55 replies. Now, right, he said quite a lot, so let's cover, use the path, there was no one on it. Right, it's called a footpath for a reason. It's illegal to cycle on the path. Yes, there was a shared use path on the other side with a cycle lane on it. And at the speed that I was doing, which at the start of the video was about 35 miles an hour when I was behind the learner, and at that particular point where the bus passed me, which was at the traffic lights, at the pedestrian crossing, that particular bit, number one, there's loads of driveways there, dodgy curbs, all kinds. But also, I'm doing like 20 mile an hour plus along that road. Do you actually think that it's wise me doing that speed? Not for anyone else's sake, for my own sake. Because like I would, if I like hit a rock wrong, or like hit a curb wrong, or if it was or especially on the white lines, if it was like really slippy or rainy or icy, I'd go flying, and I'd probably like slide into a road. No one would expect to see a cyclist sliding along a road at like along the path at 20 miles an hour, would they? So like if someone were pulling out of a junction, like I fell off there or something, trying to brake or whatever. It's stupid. It's common sense. Why do that kind of speed on the path when there's a perfectly good road there? Right. Next one is, you're not a vehicle, not a car. You never will be. Right. At the end of the day, bicycle's a vehicle. You're not a car. You never will be. What are you getting at? That like at some point I want to become a car? That makes no sense. But like it's just stupid. That comment is stupid. Right, there's a special kind of stupid going in the middle of the road, holding people up too. Right, at the end of the day, everyone was passing me. I wasn't holding up the road, was I? That bus passed me, everyone else passed me. The bus passed me at an unsafe place where the road narrowed, and sort of like he could have waited a little bit until he sort of like got to the cross-sections bit. But at the end of the day, I wasn't holding anyone up. Anyone could pass me, I could pass anyone. End of the day. Simple. If someone gets annoyed at that, that's not my problem. Right. Next one by Andy Man. Bloody push bikers thinking they own the roads. Pay some tax, then you can start complaining. 29 likes that's got. And 32 replies. Now, pay some tax, then you can start complaining. Right, at the end of the day, everyone pays tax. Even little kids pay tax when they buy little sweets from the shop. It is taxed. Everything is taxed. Sorry, but that's just the way of life. And saying that, oh, it doesn't, I pay road tax, bullshit like that. Fucking hell. Road tax doesn't exist. It's VED, which I pay on my car, which I pay on the emissions. I pay it differently depending on the size of the vehicle and the emissions it pollutes. This car is costing me a year £270 on because of its emissions. Not because it's on the road. Anyone is allowed on the road. What about horse riders? The horses pollute methane. Humans pollute methane. Produce methane, not pollute. Produce. So what, are you going to start charging people on methane now? Oh, whenever you fart, you got to pay. Stupid. Right, Anyway, next one. From Butty249er. Punk cyclist, you want the bloody bus to cross the lane, to go into the opposite lane and crash. Bloody idiots think they're kings. Drivers should have fucked you up. That's had 14 likes and 6 replies. Right, obviously he's American by referring to cyclists as punks. Don't say punks in the UK. Not really, anyway. Want the bus to cross into the opposite lane and crash. Right. Obviously, only some absolutely complete idiot would overtake a cyclist, but give them enough room, but crash on purpose. It's stupid. Obviously, if there's something coming in the opposite direction, you don't have room to pass, you wait. Isn't that, like, expected? Isn't that, like, the common thing to do? The most obvious thing to do? The safest thing to do? I'm talking about safety, and I'm stood here in the middle of the road with my back up down a big steep hill. Bloody idiots think they're kings. Okay, well, the Queen's got more power than the King, I think. Actually, not sure about that. I can imagine it'd be like even that, wouldn't it? They think they're kings. Well, that's not really got anything to do with safety, does it? You can't really be a king and be like... That doesn't make sense, that. I don't get that bit. Drivers should have fucked you up. Right, that doesn't refer to running me over or anything, or beating me up. It says fucked me up. Okay, that's like a very broad explanation of what they should have done, but at the end of the day, that's your opinion, entitled to it. And the last one on this video, Jumo Gar. You could drive on the sidewalk or just buy a car because you are not fast or anything. People like you are annoying. Right. You could drive on the sidewalk. You've just gone and proved yourself wrong there by calling it a sidewalk. Obviously you're another American. But you've said walk in. You could drive on the sidewalk. That's meaning that like anyone could drive. Anyone who does drive, like a bicycle rides or cycles, doesn't drive. You can't drive a bicycle. You can operate a bicycle just like you can operate a car. Operate is probably the most acute term, basically. On the sidewalk, whatever. Or just buy a car. Right, okay, that doesn't refer to using it, that refers to buying a car. I have a car. I've had 4 cars. Well, at this point anyway. A year ago, I had 2 cars, which is when the comment was. So, you're not fast or anything. Like I said at the start of this video, I was doing like 35 mph plus at the start of the video. Easily doing 20 along that road because it was really good weather. I had a little bit of a tailwind behind me. Actually, no, I think there wasn't any wind that day, but still, I was bombing it. And that's a 3 replies. Right, next one. Car versus cyclist video. And this is when the cyclist goes into the side of the car at the traffic light and then I cycle over and try and offer some help. Top one from Mr. Wilcar. It was amber, this crossing is for peds, not for bikes. Lol, you are wrong. Right, you're saying you are wrong. I can imagine he's referring to the cyclist or whatever. Or whoever said that, but it was amber, this crossing. He said it was amber. Doesn't really mean anything, doesn't explain that bit. This crossing is for peds, not for bikes. Okay, it's actually a shared use crossing. That's had 2 likes. Next one, Johnny J. Dave? Johnny J. Dane or something like that? Johnny J. Dan, I don't know. Anyway, stop fucking moaning over nothing, you cunt. You're alive, and you're alive, sorry. And just want to claim off his insurance, but you fuckers don't have insurance, do you, when you damaged cars? Do you, wankers? I know, very good on sentences, this guy. Obviously, rage and fuel fingers at the keyboard. That's had 5 likes, that one, right. Stop fucking moaning over nothing, you cunt. You're alive, and you just want to claim off his insurance. Well, I don't know what... I can't say anything about that, because I don't know what that cyclist's intentions were. I don't know if it was malicious. All I saw was that, like, it looked to me to be accidental. You're alive. Right, that's got nothing to do with it. Doesn't even matter if you're not injured. A collision occurred, so I don't know. But personally, any collision should be reported. I went over there because I didn't know if that cyclist was hurt or nothing. Obviously he wasn't hurt, and then we started sort of like have a little bit of a discussion about it. It turns out to be an argument. But you fuckers don't have insurance, do you, when you damaged cars? It sounds like he's actually... like he's had a car damaged, but he can't exactly prove that it was a cyclist, but he assumed it was a cyclist. Anyway, next one is RRC158. Bet that incident made your day. You could go rushing over with your camera and stick your nose into something that had nought to do with you. Right. Okay, obviously I didn't know that incident was going to happen, did I? Saying that I could go rushing over with my gay camera. Well, I'm not exactly how sure a camera could be gay. Doesn't really make sense, but... stick your nose into something that had nothing to do with you. Right, he was injured. Well, actually, no, sorry. He wasn't injured. But I didn't know that, did I? There was a collision, I went over to help. I'd witnessed it, I had it on camera. So it's got nothing to do with me and I'm sticking my nose in. Isn't a very sort of like good explanation, is it? I mean, it's not really a good way of, you know. So if you saw someone absolutely collapse on the road, would you just totally ignore them? Got a good look from that guy there, Mr. Farmer Boy. Farmer Man. Right, obviously it did have... No, actually no, sorry. It didn't have something to do with me, I'll admit that. But what's stopping me from going over and offering help? Explain to them that I've got it all on camera. Nothing, alright? Art Hunter. First thing he does when he gets out of the car is check his motor. Says it all. Well, I don't really have a comment on that. I didn't, because I didn't notice that at the time, but obviously after I reviewed the footage I did actually pick that up. But I don't know. Lots of people do funny things. And the last one from Alfred Mogarji. It was Amber. Right, this whole Amber thing. He may well have crossed the line when it is green. But to be honest, I personally think that he could have stopped. Saying he wouldn't have caused a collision by jamming on his brakes. He was going incredibly slow. So I don't think that is like that would have done much. Personally, he wouldn't have had a crash anyway. I can tell you that. Where's the next one? Oh, trying to find the next one. Oh no, there we go. Rightio. Right. This is the GK03ZTM video. The angry guy one. Now, this has had the most... Oh no, sorry, no. This has had a lot of comments. And in terms of views, it's almost as much as the Cyclist goes into car one. But you see, this has got quite a lot of comments. Very fuel and rage, very opinionated. So, we'll start with the first one. From Larry Finkelstein. Haha, bike dude was not talking all that shit face to face. 67 likes, that's had. Right. I'm not like everyone else. In a face-to-face confrontation, right, actually, no, I'll put this out there first. What I was like back then, which was 2-3 years ago, is different to how I am now. I'm more confident now, I've learned, I've grown up, I've matured a bit. Back then, I'll admit, I said things and then, like, tried to avoid them. Tried to, like, run away. Oh, there's another car coming up here now. But it's sort of like... It's not something I was proud of, but it was how I used to be. Obviously, I'm different now. Anyway. So that is kind of like why I bottled it. I go quiet. Number one, actually, no. It was probably the wisest thing for me to do, because it was me totally avoiding a major argument. I went quiet to prevent the incident from going any worse, which obviously is the wisest thing to do. It's the most sensible thing to do. You don't make the matter a whole lot worse. You don't go with him into a fight, do you? You try and settle the incident. Right, next one from IB8068. This is like the shittest episode of Game of Thrones ever. What the fuck is with those accents, man? Oh, there's a little dog up here now. There's a guy coming down. I'm going to pause the video here actually, and then I'll like join it after. I'll go somewhere else. See you in a bit, back, guys. Right, guys, I'm back. Managed to find somewhere a little bit better. You might remember this place from when I did my what was it, a 2015 update, which I'll be doing another one. 2016, along the same lines, same kind of stuff and stuff. Anyway, back to the questions though. Right, the one that I'd started was from IB8068, and he said this is like the shittiest this is like the shittest episode of Game of Thrones ever. What the fuck is with those accents, man? 23 likes that's had. Right. A lot of people have said about his accent, the guy's accent. Right. I don't really know what's going on with it either. a lot of people up here in North Wales are from Manchester and Liverpool, so that becomes like very dodgy accents basically. I mean, both my parents are from Manchester, but I was born in Wales, but I've got a bit of a Manc accent, so I don't know, it's just the area really. Right, the next one from Ian Clark. If he's ignorant to think that he can do as he pleases on the road, he is far too ignorant to take criticism from a cyclist. Don't have any... Oh, he said that I don't have any authority to tell him how to behave or how to judge others, or how to teach others. So I haven't got any authority to tell him off for like cutting the corner and stuff. Right, well, it's not up to authority, and I wasn't really telling him off. I was just commenting on it, and he just happened to hear. And then as sort of like he actually pulled over, then I was like, right, okay, right, if you're going to bother like getting in my face about it, I'm not going to grace you with the presence of like speaking to you about it. If you can't actually act like an adult, then at the end of the day. Alright, next one. From Antagoniz B or something like that, 63. I bet the bike fag had to go home and change his wicked cool bike pants after he pissed himself. The old guy did not give a fuck about you or your gay camera. Wish he'd knocked you out. That would have been worth posting. Right, well, that's obviously something else. Another video, another comment against me in favour of the old guy. Right. My wicked cool bike pants. Apparently I pissed myself, even though pissing yourself is like typically with regards to laughing. Shitting yourself is more regards with like shitting it literally. So what that was about, I don't know. Right, next one from Brad B with 60 likes. Cyclist is such a pussy. Well then, that is simply it. And it said 19 replies to that as well. Cyclist is such a pussy. Well, it goes back to, like, what? Am I a pussy for cycling away? Am I a pussy for not bothering to grace him with my response to when he was in my face? Am I a pussy for going to the police? No, you're not very specific on that one, are you? But a lot of people liked it. Next one from Robert Amos. What is the fucking problem? Hopefully Gobshite will learn to shut his gob next time. 56 likes that had and 26 replies. Gobshite will learn to keep his gob shut next time. Obviously, sort of like he doesn't know any other word apart from gob. Learn to keep his gob shut. Whatever. Gob shut. It's got nothing to do with anything. I don't know. I don't really know what you're trying to get at there. Right, next one is Mining Forge. Driver is at fault. Chasing and blocking traffic, just have a go. Shows remarkable arrogance. 21 likes that had. Right. It's kind of a bit true though. I mean, what if oh, there's another guy coming down here now. If you're that bothered by it, or if you're in that much of a rush to just pass, to cut the corner, then I can't even get my words out right. If you're in that much of a rush to cut a corner without knowing what's coming up the road or whatever, and then you've got the time to sort of like actually chase me down the road, get out the car, block the road, and then have a go at me for like commenting on it, then you're bonkers really. There's this guy coming down here as well. God, I'm getting some dodgy looks here. Right, next one from Richie Lionel 92. Get bikes off the road until they pay insurance. 26 likes. Right, insurance. Right, at the time I did have insurance. Whenever I've been out on my bike, I've got insurance. My household insurance covers biking. We're good for cycling, and I don't go out with insurance. What about other people going out with insurance? Right, well, I don't know about them though, do I? It's up to them. Right, from another one from Chris Murray. What a faggot you are. Right, little mincer. I wouldn't put this on YouTube because it makes you look like a right fanny. A lot of people have lots of childish little comments. Mincer. Never been called a mincer before. A right little mincer. What? That's referring to me being like quite portly, I could imagine. 13 people like that though. And finally from Nick Fischina. In this day and age, bikes do not belong on the tarmac. They are a liability. 4 likes, but it's had 24 replies. Right. These bikes do not belong on the tarmac. Right. Saying that nowadays, bikes shouldn't be on the road is, I don't know, it's a bit weird saying something like that. I mean, bikes are allowed to go on the road. They've always been allowed to go on the road. Bikes were here before cars. Saying that, he didn't say that they weren't allowed, he said that they didn't belong on the road. As in, like, they're not meant to be there anymore. Which, I don't know, is a bit weird, really. It's an odd thing to say that. Because they do belong on the road. Cyclists are always going to belong on the road. Not on the path, not on the bike path. That's just something to help like families who are cycling, basically, or quite slow riders and stuff. So, but anyway, that's the video really. That's my response to some of the comments that have been given on my channel, on some of the videos, on the top 3 videos. I don't really know what else to say really. I mean, I haven't got that much to comment on. Shit, where are my keys? Fucking hell, I nearly locked my keys inside the car then. That was very lucky. But I don't know. What can I say really? Back then, things were a little bit different. I was much younger than I am now. I was a little bit different with my attitude towards things. Yeah, on most of the cases I was wrong, and nowadays I wouldn't act the same with regards to some of the things I did. Like, if that angry guy got in my face again, I'd probably give him what for, really. I'd probably just shout back at him. Or try and reason with him, I don't know. I'd probably speak to him, I wouldn't just stay quiet. But in terms of me going and helping people and stuff, like when the cyclist went to the side of the car, like that is in my nature. I will always help someone, even if like I'm in a rush and I see someone requiring assistance, I'll go and help them. It doesn't matter about me. But if like something's more important for someone else, then obviously I'm going to sort of like stand up for them and stuff. Things along those lines. That guy who came up here with his dog. No, I'm getting back on my bike, but anyway, I'll talk more about that in my next video, which will hopefully be a bit of a better vlog. But if you guys think that my responses were maybe sort of like out of order, not as exactly what you wanted me to say, or you thought that like you had a better comment, a better response to some of the comments that have been given, just comment on this video and sort of like explain to me why your opinion's different to mine, stuff like that. I'm not really fussed people's opinions. They can not keep to themselves. They can put on the comments section. Obviously, if you're just going to give me a torrent of abuse, it's going to get deleted. End of. No argument there. I'm not going to have bullshit comments on my channel that are just sort of like causing sort of like my channel to look like absolute mess. You need to put constructive comments up. There's another car coming down here now. But no, apart from that, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, just keep watching my videos, and I mean, I'm getting views, so obviously most people are sort of like intrigued by it. That one where the cyclist went into me, one of my most recent videos, that's got a hell of a lot of views very quickly. Surprisingly, a lot of comments in my favour. However, there were once again a lot of anti-cycling comments, which isn't really on. I mean, yeah, the cyclist was bombing it, he was in the wrong, but at the end of the day, like, he didn't, well, I don't know, but hopefully he didn't intend to hit me. But anyway, I'm gonna head off now. Camera's gonna probably die in a minute. No, hopefully I'll see you in the next video or the next vlog or whatever. So yeah, that's me done. That's this conversation done. That's this video done. So I'll catch you guys later. Bye.